To those that live in Italy, how is the situation right now with coronavirus and lockdown? I'm a university student, and since last week we have been doing lessons via Microsoft Teams or Google Classrooms. I don't really like these methods, but it's the only alternative, so there's a fair amount of psychosis between a big chunk of the population. Supermarkets have been raided overnight. We are advised to not leave our houses unless it's necessary, but you can fill a form on your own to certify that you need to go to work, so basically everyone is running around without a real examination of that form because literally anyone can do that. The only thing that has been really impacted by this is nightlife and sports, since every league of every sport is suspended until April. Edit, typos. I finally have time to mod Skyrim. High school student here. Schools are simply closed and the TV is full of ads about washing your hands and avoid contact with other people. Edit, I forgot to say that each morning we have approximately 3 hours of video lessons from our laptop. There will likely be a baby boom in 9 months. Why did it get so bad in Italy, anyway? It seems so disproportionate and random that Italy of all places got slammed by this disease. I have a daughter living in Serrano, but she works in Milano. She is housebound, on lockdown. Her courses are being done via Skype. Her employer has asked her not to come to work. She is not allowed to leave her house unless it is an emergency, which I hope never happens. She says there has been quite a bit of panic buying at the supermarkets. All the restaurants are pretty much empty, however they are allowed to be open between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. People who are seated should have at least a 1 meter distance between them at restaurants. Tourist areas, e.g. Duomo in Milano, are devoid of almost anybody. All school and universities remain closed. All sporting or any kind of events have been suspended. Ski resorts are closed, the same for cinemas, theaters, discos. All church services have been suspended. Whilst the measures may seem extreme, Italy has been the hardest hit worldwide besides for China, so it's necessary to curb travel and cultural activities to stop the spread of the virus. I am a doctor who works at one of the largest hospitals in Rome. The situation seems much worse than reported in the news. We are scared, but we continue to go to work for a sense of responsibility by turning. We do not have suitable safeguards for our protection, such as FFP3 masks. For a couch potato like me, it's awesome. I can watch my uni lessons online and in my free time play a fuck ton of video games or work out a little bit. Also, I think we're allowed to leave and get some fresh air. So except for the deadly virus thing, everything is okay. I live in Verona. I'm a 19 years old living alone because my mother and my father took it in Milan, and for the first time I'm home alone for a month. Pretty nice too. I play 5 with my friends like the old days, doing some indoor workout and experimenting with cooking. I'm becoming a good chef. The school is quite annoying, but it's okay. I wake up at 7:30 and at 8 a.m. I start a 5 hours straight in front of my laptop for online lessons, and then I go cooking my lunch. I don't go out if not to buy some food and maybe some cigarettes because the situation it's not good. There is no space left in the intensive therapy, so if I get really sick, they would have to remove someone to save me, since I would have better chance of surviving. This is why I almost never go out, once a week. I don't want to be the reason for someone's death. Okay, I wrote cocking twice, stop memeing at me, I'm Italian, okay. Currently watching a university lesson from my bed, but my father went to work this morning. I'm in a region where the lockdown started officially today, so it's all pretty new. Let's hope people don't storm the grocery stores. Edit, since a lot of people are mentioning it, there's no news about shortage of toilet paper and, at least in my area, no assault on grocery stores. Edit 2, we can get out of our houses. We are asked to do so just for necessity like buying groceries. We have to have a good reason if we want to leave our town. Edit 3, since people suggested me to do an AMA after all the question I'm receiving, here you go. I'm a final year medic and I'm graduating on Thursday over Skype. I've been locked in my house with my 2 sisters and my mother for 2 weeks and I still have a month ahead of me. Please send help. Edit, to be clear, I was joking, imperfectly fine, the situation is not that bad. We can go out to buy groceries or to work. The big problems are that some people are losing their jobs and how the economy will be affected, now and in the aftermath. I'm a nurse student in Italy. Right now I can't go to the university, I can't go to work, we shouldn't go out unless it's a necessity, so basically we need to stay home and finally finish our Netflix list. It may sound pretty cool for the first few days, but after a while it gets pretty depressing and boring. I got so bored that I cleaned everything at home. South Italy here, I'm waiting for the virus to spread as in northern Italy, if not worse. A lot of idiots rushed south to their mommy after the government declared the region of Lombardy a red zone, and here the people seems to not understand the situation. Yesterday morning there were a lot of people strolling around not caring about what's happening. Yesterday night the Prime Minister declared all Italy red zone, and a lot of people rushed to 24/7 stores to buy food. I decided to stay at home for at least a week. But my parents and the parents of my friends are going around the city like it's not their problem. There will be another infection peak here in the southern Italy in a few days. Basic Italian uni student with bad English here. Basically in the past we used to cough to cover up a fart, nowadays we fart to cover up a cough. We have an hashtag running on Twitter, hashtag #IOStocasu. It basically means stay home. People only travel alone and maintain a 1 meter safe distance. We have to change life habits drastically for 2 weeks to keep the virus from spreading. It worked in Wuhan, we hope it works here as well. I am 14 and live in Italy. It's not bad, I don't have to go to school, but I still have to do homework, but it's not too much. We will have virtual lesson this week. I have finally time to read Plato's Republic, and I can finally get better at doing the Rubik's Cube. I have a lot of free time, so I joined the Conlanging Discord to learn something new. This will last until 3 April and I'm really happy about it. Had to go to work this morning in a desert city, felt post-apocalyptic in every means, empty stations, recorded warnings about the situation, etc. And despite wanting to rush thing at work to go back home, I can't really get the right amount of concentration. Our area is in lockdown since Sunday. Life is still quite normal here, except for the lines at the grocery stores. We need a paper in order to travel from a city to another. You can travel for emergencies and for work. Got some extra food just in case. Get ready, fellow European Redditors, this is not a joke. Since yesterday night, every town is locked down. I cannot move 5 kilometers without a proper reason, work, or a relative very sick and so on, otherwise I could get arrested. The government, immediately backed up by lots of celebrities, is basically saying please, stay home. Our emergency departments in the hospitals are collapsing. Literally, chemos or surgeries that are not urgent are being delayed. How's a chemo not urgent? Bars and restaurants can only open from 6 AM to 6 PM. It's been over a month that places where big number of people could meet have been closed, discos, sports centers, clubs, schools and universities. It's crazy. If you're a good citizen and you don't have a job, it's hard to tell. For example, I only poke my nose out of the house to go to the grocery store, and I can tell you there is no big problem there. Sometimes there are empty shelves, but it's not something surreal. Though if you look at the streets, there are so few people, some wearing masks, with no social interaction. It's weird. And the fact you don't have to go to school or university, and you can't even move out normally, makes this whole thing feel weird as fuck. It's like time has stopped. We should stay home, but people are selfish and don't care. Basically, for the first time in history, I can save my life and potentially someone else's too by being a piece of shit laying on the couch all day watching Netflix and playing video games. I'm in senior year in high school. I don't know how it is in other countries, but here we have a final exam called maturity. Currently we are organizing with our teachers to do online classes, and we have like zero information on how it will be our maturity because of the time we are losing at home. School aside, there's an order from the government that says that all the further pointless outgoes will be sanctioned by police. But for me, being a teenager, this is not so bad. I play a lot of Rainbow Six Siege, I do my homework, and I finally have some time to edit some videos or read the books I bought about video editing. It's quite brutal if you ask me, but I understand the situation and I will cooperate with what my government decided. It's pretty shit actually. I'm sophomore and I feel like it will be really hard to catch up, because we will have barely a month of actual school left. Moreover, the lockdown is causing severe economical issues, especially to those who own small businesses such as restaurants, clothing stores etc. A lot of these activities will go bankrupt, because they have close to no customers. However, I think the only thing we can do is contain the infection, so the lockdown is necessary. Someone from Italy went to Malta carrying the virus. Malta is that dot of land you see beneath Italy. Schools weren't stopped yet though they should be, and Malta only has 12 beds ready for the virus and I'm worried it's too little. The press considers Milan a red zone and were preparing for shutdown, but it got leaked before actually being signed. So now a lot of people from the northern parts are fleeing to the southern parts, where many have homes in the countryside. I am not trying to be judgmental, but it is a lot more likely for them to have the virus, and considering how it may take up to 2 weeks for the symptoms to show, we do not know if they are actually ill. We are fucked. Also, our teacher got kicked from the Google Meet due to a lag buffer and we've just been shit posting. I'm a student in high school and it only just got dramatic the last days. Last week, out of the sudden you get to know that you won't have school next week. We were all pretty cool with it and rather happy about not having to study. But now it gets worse every day. Cinemas are closed, a lot of bars and restaurants are closed, libraries are closed, churches are closed, clubs are closed, and since yesterday we know that we won't be going to school for a whole month. It's a really scary situation. You don't know what to do and you hope that it's over soon. The worst thing is that they suggest you not to leave your house at all. I'm Air Force stationed in Pisa. I was thinking my drive to work this morning would be quiet after the lockdown. Nope. Cars on the roads like normal and saw flights taking off from the airport. Not sure how people are flying unless it's within the country. Thoughtful face, currently waiting on word on how the military will go forward with the new decree.